Hey, there we go. I love the set, man. I love the lights and the LED. It looks good.
Thanks, man. Yeah, Nath owns like a gym where he shoots all his
True.
his fitness content and stuff. So we figured, what better place to put a studio than above his little office downstairs? So yeah,
Looks
um,
looks clean. Looks good.
yeah, it's nice, man. It's got some like, I'll give you a little tour. It's
Holy
got some
shit.
behind the world of reaction. So yeah, we've got the all the soundproofing and the big logo and
Fucking hell.
the lights and
Damn,
yeah.
they're proper lights as well. They ain't fucking around.
Oh, dude, Nate doesn't fuck around. And then CEO, that's where like the mystery of us getting together every day to do a video is killed because we actually just have a wardrobe here.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
But
That makes sense. You're
like it's
liars.
yeah, we're horrible liars. Yeah, we'll just ignore that for the moment. But like just like one of the best things about having like this channel is like we've got the two of us, so the dynamic with the friendship is there,
Mm,
and it kind of gives something else that a lot of other channels don't have because Nathan and I have
yeah.
known each other for like 14 years.
Yeah.
So like all the shithousery is just legit how we would be
Well,
as
it's
mates.
it's it's like you watch a reaction channel and it's one dude's opinion, but you watch a reaction channel with you guys and it's two dudes bouncing off each other. And it's like way
Yeah,
more engaging to watch two people discuss something than just like have one person's
for sure, man, for
opinion.
sure. And like we like a lot of the same shit, but we don't agree on everything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And even in terms of when it comes down to like the meaning behind certain songs and social commentary and stuff like that, having a second person to bounce off does sort of open that
For
sort of
sure.
honest discussion because we know like we'll know if we're bullshitting each other. Like
Yeah.
he'll know if I'm like saying something that's false, and I'd know the same as well. So it's actually kind of sad how much we're like a married couple.
If hey, it works, it's clearly working for you guys. So it's what the people want to see. People want to see mum and dad fighting.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. Yeah. But no, the downside to all like, the positives of having two people is it's hard to get together, man. Like,
For sure.
he's doing so many different things. Like I've got a full-time 9 to 5 still and my own
Yeah.
band and kids and like we've got
Yeah.
relationships and it's hard, man.
You're
But
both up on the coast, yeah? You're Sunny Coast.
we are Sunny Coast, yeah.
True.
Yeah. So we probably could have done this in person.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
I'm in Melbourne. I live in Melbourne now, and then I am in Sydney at the moment. So I'm
wow,
all over the shop. Yeah.
what's the go there? Because we're not
It
here to
just
talk
got
about me and Nath. We're here to talk about you.
so I'm both Em and I moved down at the start of the year solely because like our lease was up where we were in Sydney, and we just got hit with like a fucked rental increase. Our housemate was wanting to move in with her partner, and we just went like we've talked about moving to Melbourne for so fucking long, and the like cost of living in Sydney is like kind of disgusting.
That's
Em
ridiculous.
working at Dal, it just kind of like made sense. And we went, okay, cool, let's move down to Melbourne. We got friends down there and we've got a really sick place down, just sort of like 10 minutes up from Stay Gold, essentially.
Oh, sick.
Um, and then now I'm up in Sydney now because we've got a bunch of shit to film. And then we all fly to New Zealand on Monday for the next, yeah, for while she sleeps, and then it's Good Things, and then it's all the shows, and then I'm not back home until the following Wednesday. So
Yeah.
busy guy.
Busy guy. Yeah. You guys are starting to get busier. It's
Yeah.
interesting with you guys because like we've listened to you guys for years
Yeah.
and it's always been like a couple of singles, an EP, couple of singles, an EP, and now we've got a couple of singles again. And it feels like you guys have always been there but
Yeah.
like it feels like now with some of the tours you guys are getting and with the announcement of you guys being on Good Things, like shit is starting to finally swing in
Yeah.
your favor. Do you guys feel that?
For sure. Like it's been like we've been a band for 6 years, 6 and a bit years. And it was really, I guess, like if you ask the whole band, like when did Bloom begin? Realistically, it was with Cold. Cold was that came out, and we got like the best response we'd had as a band so far, and we kind of like like stuck our teeth in and really kind of pushed harder. And then the last since 2019 to now has been like a slow progressive, slowly like upping the billing, or milestones, whether it's like in streaming or the amount of tickets we'll sell in a room.
Yeah.
And like, especially this year, we knew in January that this year was going to be a really big year. We didn't know that it would take us through to November to like actually get shit
Yeah,
out of
man.
the bag. But we've been like the album we just announced, like we got masters for that back in February. We did
Oh, no way.
pre-production started for that album in January last year. Like,
Wow.
and it's not because like we've just been, we've been twiddling our thumbs. It's sort of been a process of, okay, well, we wanted to really fucking nail the album, and then we really wanted to nail the rollout, and then Pure Noise sort of slipped in there as well, and that was something for us that's like a milestone. That's something that we've wanted since we started. So there's been sort of like, I guess, hurdles along the way that we've had to get to. But I think sort of since we released Bound, we've been able to, announce Pure Noise and Good Things and the album, and we've got a bunch more stuff to announce still, and we're like just getting started on the album rollout. And it's like, it's so nice to be able to talk openly about the album, because
Yeah.
in all the interviews, in all of the even conversations I've had with fans, it's kind of like oh yeah, like there's an album coming, but we can't talk about it yet. So it's
Yeah.
nice that the lid is off.
For sure, man. Because I guess that also with that long rollout, with being so excited and sitting on an album for so long, man, you know, did it at all through that last year where you didn't have all of these things in the bag? Did it kind of kill a little bit of the vibe for
Sure.
you with those songs?
For sure. I fucking love the album. I can't wait for it to be out. And I loved it the whole process we were recording it. And then after we got everything back, I listened to it to death. And then there kind of just came to a point where I was like, I don't need, like, I've heard this
Yeah.
enough. And then
And
three or
you
four
can't show
months.
anyone either.
Yeah, exactly. And then 3 or 4 months passed, and we had gotten further along with like rollout. We signed the contract with Pure Noise, and we kind of had dates. And I listened to it again, and it was great because I got to listen to it again after not
Yeah.
hearing it for so long and be reminded of like that excitement. So there's definitely been like peaks and valleys with it. Like,
Yeah.
super excited when it was fresh and new, and then kind of a bit stale on it because it's just sitting and waiting. And
Mm.
then with the fact that we were able to announce it, and we had dates and this whole rollout that we'd worked on for fucking months, to actually be able to listen to it with that sort of new perspective, because I can't wait for other people to hear this part. I can't wait to release the video for this, has
Yeah.
put it in like a different frame, and it feels fresh and new again.
And how were Pure Noise when they sort of came on board? Because like already having an album done, ready to go that you're proud of. Look, it's no secret that if labels are going to release something, they want to have a little bit of sort of, I use the word control, but more so they want to make sure that their name and their investment
Yeah.
is secure with taking a chance on you. Were they cool with you
Literally,
guys having
they've been so chill. We
yeah,
we
that's
sent them
fucking
the
bad.
album. They loved it. Or at least they said they loved it. We had a meeting with them, and they very much gave off that like, we're here to serve you guys. We're here to assist you guys. You guys call the shots. We will have input. We can give you advice and guidance. But at the end of the day, like, it's your band, it's your career. We want you guys to succeed, and we will put down all of the foundation to help you guys with that. But end of the day, if you guys want to do something, or if you guys don't want to do something, it's your call. And they've been super helpful, and offered a lot of guidance in sort of taking us from Australian melodic hardcore band Bloom to opening up doors and opportunities to start exploring, going over to the States or over to Europe. And they've kind of put us in touch with a bunch of people that, a year and a half ago, wouldn't even bat an eye at us.
Yeah.
To these really exciting conversations we've been having, where we're starting to see more of the big picture of I guess what the next 3, 4, 5 years look like for Bloom, and what we want to get to, and the goals that we want to kick. So it's been really nice, and it's cool having Pure Noise, who are like so fucking like such a staple in the genre, and
Yeah,
have
for
signed
sure.
just like bands that since I started listening to heavy music have been like inspired by and cared so deeply about. Like we're a Counterparts band and we're on the same label as Counterparts. So
Yeah, it's fucking
like
awesome.
it's nutty, man. And so they've been really good. I super understanding and super open to anything. And yeah, really good. Couldn't be more happy.
It's really cool to hear that as well because like they're one of the labels that we, have a good relationship with. We have a good relationship with so many labels, and obviously, maybe their approach to dealing with media is different to dealing with artists. But labels like them and Unified and Sharp Tone are just so fucking chill and so
Yeah.
easy and so accommodating, and it makes everything run smoother.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, like you remember the emo, hardcore, screamo, metalcore explosion of the early
Yeah.
2000s when like for dudes like us, that was the best thing to happen to music, man. It's like, fuck yeah, like this is the shit.
Yeah.
But in hindsight now, you hear all the bands talking about the horror stories from some
Yeah.
of those labels, and most
The
of those labels
deals
aren't
and the
around
fucking
anymore. Yeah,
forever in debt shit. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Like not even owning their own albums. It's like, why isn't this album on Spotify? Oh, because the
Yeah.
label just won't release it. And it's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't get much lower.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's shit.
Maybe it's sweet. It's wishful thinking, but I feel like that era, especially in this genre, like that era is kind of dead, and there's a lot more transparency. Like I feel like in that first boom where it was music was CDs and MySpace, and
Yeah,
as it developed, there was like a way more. There was a much more. There was much more of a curtain between the band and the fan.
for
And I feel
sure.
like nowadays there's so much more transparency. Like people who are just regular, like punters and fans of music and fans of the genre, kind of know a lot more about how that
Yeah,
dynamic operates compared to 10 years ago, 15 years ago, where it was very much like the big label is the suits and they sit in a boardroom and it's conference calls, to now where
yeah.
it's a lot more like
Like
a much more
FaceTime
collaborative
and
environment. Yeah,
text. And,
exactly.
dude, like, and the other thing is like screenshots didn't exist back then.
Facts. Yeah,
You can't
facts.
be you
Yeah.
can't be a total ass to someone
Yeah.
and be a shady prick and get away with it now.
Yeah.
And I think that, labels know that. And I think that the music industry has kind of learned from its mistakes moving forward,
For
which
sure.
is sick.
Yeah.
Um, but dude, like talking about things that's happening to the band, good things. Like what a fucking sick
Yeah.
lineup to be a part of, man.
Yeah. Milestone. Like it'll be by far and away the most amount of people we've played to. I mean, fingers crossed. But like just in terms of like sheer people that will be walking through the gate, it is like 30,000 in Brisbane, which is like just a fucking obscene amount of
It's a
people. Like
ridiculous amount of people, right?
it's yeah, it's disgusting. Like I can't fathom it. Um, but yeah, it's going to be really cool, and I think for us, like doing doing like we've done Unify, and that was like that's still in the top three shows we've ever played as a band. But I feel like your Good Things and Download and Knotfest, they're just in a league of their own. And like
Mm.
we're super fortunate to be on that lineup. Like we know that there's not many slots they give to the Australian, especially like the openers or the early in the day sort of bands.
Yeah,
And like timing wise, it couldn't have come at a better time for us. Like the fact that it is mid release cycle and we have so much like material coming into it,
for
like the
sure.
timing feels really nice, and we're so stoked.
Yeah, just looking at some of the caliber of the bands on the lineups as well. It just get a phone call, it's like, sorry, dude, busy right now, just touring with Limp Bizkit. Like,
Yeah.
what the
Yeah,
fuck?
when the lineup was, my dad sent me the leaked lineup when the leaks happened
No
like
way.
a day or two before. Like he sent me a screenshot of it and was like, Fall Out Boy? Like you loved Fall Out Boy growing up. And I'm like, yeah, but Ross, come on, like the
Yeah,
lineup's not out yet. Like, come on, pump the brakes.
yeah.
Wait till everyone knows, then we'll talk about it.
It's like that, like finally a band that we're playing with that my parents like
Yeah.
recognize the gravity of what we're doing.
Yeah,
That's fucking
it's
cool.
exactly that. Like it's the moment where I think for them, like they've always been super supportive, but I think
Yeah.
for them seeing that lineup and seeing our name on it, it kind of makes it real for them. It's like, oh, like maybe this thing that he's been committing too many hours to for the last 6-7 years like has paid off. And like even with New Zealand coming up with While She Sleeps, that'll be our first international show.
Yeah.
And all my family is Kiwis, all my extended family lives in New Zealand, and it's really cool
Okay.
for them to see like, oh, like he's international.
Yeah.
So yeah, like kind of like what I was saying before, like we've spent so long working on things, and it's been so rewarding to have it out in the open, whether it's the album, whether it's going to New Zealand, whether it's good things. It's felt like there's been a lot of really awesome things that have landed in the last 3 months of this year.
Yeah.
And I think it's, at least in the perception of my family, it has boosted Bloom from being like, my son has a cool band to like, oh, my son is a musician. Like,
Well, at least you got the cool band thing, man. Like in our genre of music, like most
yeah,
parents just won't say. They'll be like, "Oh yeah,
yeah,
you're in a band. It's that screaming music, you
yeah.
know. I don't get it." But
My parents have been to Bloom shows. They were at the Thornhill show, the one in
oh,
Sydney, Liberty
sick.
Hall the other day, and
Yeah.
they had a fucking cahoot. My mum went and like listened to all of the bands before coming, and like was really
Nice.
getting into it, and it was I was full of pride. I was like, oh my god, mum's listening to Holden Absence, mum's like listening
Yeah.
to the new Thornhill single, like can't wait to watch Thorn. Like, God bless, God fucking bless, man. I'm very fortunate and very lucky to have parents that get it in a
Yeah,
way,
for
in their
sure.
own way.
Yeah. I was the same, man. I was brought up on like rock and metal and stuff, so it's nice when they do get it, but like enough to still, I guess, you still want your parents to have that. Are you sure?
Yeah,
Like we care about you, you know,
yeah,
like we don't want to see you get crushed and
yeah.
all that sort
Then
of
no,
stuff.
they've since. I mean, maybe at the beginning when we were playing, Burdekin to 7 people, and they were three of the people in the room. Maybe
Yeah.
that was when they were going, okay, we'll see what happens. But I think, yeah, we've had a lot of really cool things that they've either been at or seen through social media, and I think it's validated at least a little bit that screaming music is a real career to
Yeah.
maybe, if you're lucky.
Yeah, for sure. I reckon you guys, like, totally different point though. I reckon you guys lucked out as well on the lineup. Do you know how
Mm.
like names can get kind of lost in the
Oh,
small names
baby.
at the bottom?
B, big
Bang,
B. Yeah.
whole
Yeah, that's
position.
exactly right. Crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
That's
lucky no
the
bands were there.
exactly. I mean, the way we are always stuck with the fact that Bloom's only 5 letters, which makes it
Right.
really hard for like big banners or t-shirts and shit. Like you need like a something to really fill out a shirt. But you
Yeah.
know what? When I saw it on the Good Things poster being pole position, I went, it's all worth it.
Easy
I
to
have no
remember, dude.
doubt.
The
Yeah,
first word, easy to remember.
exactly.
And I feel like when people are doing that, because I used to do it as well, like back in my younger days, and there'd be bands on Soundwave and shit that I'd never
Yeah.
heard of. And I'd be like, oh, that sounds like a cool name. Or,
Yep.
oh, I wonder what that band sounds like. And just go through Spotify
Yep.
or Apple Music and just have a listen, jump on YouTube, see what they sound like. And
Yep.
you guys will be number one.
Feels good.
Love that. Hey, so you mentioned like we spoke about already about having like sat on the album for quite some time, and then about Pure Noise wanting to see the band grow and you guys wanting to push your sound and all that sort of stuff. I do have to say though, the last two songs that you guys have released, it's crazy that those were written so long ago
Yeah.
because it's already such a departure and a growth. And I'm
Yeah.
not blowing smoke up your ass, but I've listened to you guys for ages, and hearing you guys push like both ends of the spectrums, like there's heavier moments than you've ever done, and you're really like leaning into the more melodic moments as well. Like I can only imagine where you guys must be going to now, and pumped on writing and progressing even more.
The next single, here's an exclusive for you. The next single is like vastly different. Like it
Oh,
is there is no screaming in the next single. Yeah.
wow.
So we are like with the album, we knew like we've done EPs, we've done singles so many times, and I think we were kind of putting off the album for a while because we want something that really feels complete and really pushes kind of how we write music and really brings in the most of our influences. I remember 2020 so around the time that In Passing started its rollout, we went on like a little band trip down to this place called Mossy Point, which is maybe 3 hours. It's down past Wollongong. It's very much like old people live here and retire here town. We had a little house there, and we wrote maybe 7 or 8 different songs. We all went down just for the purpose of like, let's write music. And we wrote stuff that was like, it was kind of on us because we were listening to a shit ton of Paramore at the time. And we wrote a really, really soft, almost like another band thing. And that ended up getting shelved. But I think there were fragments and there were parts of that experience of us writing music that wasn't super heavy and a little bit more like, I guess a little bit more emotive, but not in the screaming sense, in more of like the dramatic, melodic hardcore, like drawn out big bits that kind of has trickled into what came to be the album, which, you know, obviously the last 2 songs we've put out are like you said, they are the heaviest that we've gone, but it's also like the record as a whole also has our softest moments. And I'm really excited for people to hear sort of both extremes. Like we're obviously still super influenced by like melodic hardcore as a genre, and at the end of the day, the album we like to think is more melodic hardcore than it is anything else, but it kind of takes both ends of the spectrum of like the really like the alternative movement citizen flavors that trickle into sort of modern melodic hardcore more, and the metalcore big riffs and big catchy choruses. So yeah, it's super diverse, and we wanted to, there was intention behind Bound and Maybe Another Life being the first 2 singles because we felt that they were the best blend of the two, sort of like I said, the heaviest bits and the catchiest, stickiest choruses. We kind of took those 2 songs as maybe the strongest representation of the full body of work. But then on the record itself, there's songs that are heavier and there's songs that are way softer. And yeah, I think it's, we're all obviously, like I've been gushing about it, we're all super stoked with the end product. Like months and months of labor went into shaping it to what it was. And yeah, I think it'll catch a lot of people off guard because it is kind of a departure from the Cure Me and the past tense sounding Bloom. Like it's definitely not in that same world. But I think for people who liked Cold and for people who liked In Passing, it still feels like an evolution of that with just like way more flavors.
You know what though, man? Like I don't think that any fans of heavy music in Australia would be totally surprised though. We've had a pretty good representation of bands that are willing to come from a scene where they were comfortable, you know, like Thornhill, Void, North Lane, you know, but then push themselves outside of that and be true to what they want to do as artists. And I think that's one thing that the Aussie bands have always really had going for them, especially in the last sort of, 5 years or so. And I don't know whether it was like an epiphany that they all had while they were sitting around, at home during COVID or what. But we always say it, man, like every time we check out, Aussie bands, it's just so good to see them not be scared to take chances and take risks. If you're going to have 10 songs on an album, like throw something different in if that's what you want to write. I guess then you just got to be ready for the like, what is it, metalcore Reddit or whatever?
r/metalcore, baby. Oh, look, any publicity is good publicity. I fucking love going on Reddit and reading the comments. I feel like Reddit is the only place where I can get a true, like, unfiltered, like, this is how I really feel. Like, if I'm commenting on a band's post, I'm already going in knowing like the band's going to see this. I don't want to like be too rude, but r/metalcore is unfiltered. Like, if someone doesn't like something, they are fucking passionate about it. And I love the negative feedback as much as I love the positive feedback, because I'm like, you know what? If it's polarizing, it's good. We're doing something right. If you're
making people talk about you,
if we're at
a
point
care
where
enough to talk,
well, if we're getting people that are like listening to something and being like, I really don't like this, and I'm going to talk into this void where it's just me expressing my feelings, it means that we've reached a point as a band where people see us as big enough to shit talk. And that's a milestone. That's a checkpoint.
For sure, man. I got that because I had no idea about, like, I'm old as fuck, man. I didn't know about this metalcore Reddit shit. But I had someone that my last company that I worked with was like, oh, you guys are like a conversation on metalcore Reddit. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. What's this? It's like, oh, it's just an online forum where people talk shit. I'm like, oh great, here we go. And he's like, do you want me to send you the link? And I was like, sure. And Nathan's like, I don't read that shit, man. Like, don't do it. And I'm just like, I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm curious. And I was actually surprised it was overwhelmingly positive.
Oh yeah. For the most part, like the people that are for the most part are commenting are always saying lovely things, but there's always just a few. There's always a few who don't like it and it rubs them the wrong way.
I thought a few bad apples in a bunch.
Tell me that our last like release was better. Like I need to hear that like we've lost you as a fan. Like there's just something about it that I'm like, yeah,
no, but you haven't made it until you get to like North Lane level and people are still going, I want Adrian back in the band.
It's let it go, man. It's been 10 years. Right? Let it go, dog.
Yeah, dude, you've had 4 girlfriends since then and 2
crazy.
puppies.
And like I fucking loved North Lane. North Lane was like my shoe-in band, like going from non-screaming music. Like I went up the route into this genre through like the Fueled by Ramen bands, like your Fall Out Boys and Paramore. That was my in. And then I guess a little like Escape the Fate, Bullet for My Valentine, sort of like I dipped my toes, but I was more of a pop punk kid. And then Parkway and North Lane and like local shows at youth centers that friends were going to, and I went like Hand of Mercy and shit.
Yeah.
That was my in. So I was the fucking North Lane kid. Like seeing them at the Annandale Hotel in 2012, seeing them fucking like go from a pub band to a massive band. I was heartbroken when Adrian left, but I now know that they're a way better band with Marcus. Like just fucking move on. They've evolved. They're better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look.
Got me riled up.
I apologize for that. But yeah, man, look, like music is super important to people. It's a passionate thing, man. It's why we're involved in it. It's why it is so big. It's why people love it the way they do it. It invokes emotion, and that's what you want. Sure. But I mean, at some point, you have to be able to separate, yourself from this band because you're not a part of this band. You're not making decisions for this band. You get up and go to work every day. They're the ones that have to make decisions.
Yeah.
And most of those decisions end up them being broke, sleeping on floors, traveling in shitty vans. Yeah. It's the hard yards that people don't see.
You gotta we've been a band for a while, but we're still very early in the grand scheme of where we want to get to with Bloom. We're still at the first sort of we're at first base, maybe inching towards second base.
Yeah.
But like so I'm not the most wise. We've just done one album and one EP, but I think there's definitely truth to people being like, only do what like you want to do. Like you will gain fans and you will lose fans. Like I think like Thornhill is an incredible example of like creatives that just want to create things that they care about and they like. The evolution from Darkpool to Heroin to the new sound they're going for, it's super inspiring. It's like, oh, you can make these really like bold and courageous jumps and still continue to grow as a band, and you will lose fans, you'll polarize them along the way, but the grand picture is you will continue to grow because you are putting in more effort, and the fans that like care about just music and really care about you will ride with you. Like, it's just how it is. Writing the same album over and over. The Darkpool 2, like, I don't need it. I'm good actually. I've got that era, and I'm really excited to see what the next looks like because I know you as people, and I know that you will create and put your whole fucking Thornosy into it until it's
Dude, that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons, like big reasons, obviously, other than the natural transition of where this channel went, but that's one of the big reasons why we loved talking to bands. It's why we love talking to bands like Thornhill that we've become close with now and can have honest conversations with, is because there's the opportunity now to have that honest bridge between fan and musician by having conversations, you know, whether it's stuff like this or podcasts or whatever. And I feel like it gives you a better appreciation. You might not love the new Thornhill or the new North Lane or whatever, but I feel like it gives you a better understanding and appreciation if you know the people better, if you know where they're coming from, if you know where their heart lies artistically, and sort of for a moment, if you can step outside, there's not enough breakdowns, what the fuck, and step into the, you know, how would I feel if someone was telling me what I had to do in an artistic sense? And it's wild to me that, you know, so many people who watch reaction channels will sort of have them comment to us or whatever, and they'll be like, oh, we don't watch interviews, we don't really care what the bands have to say. And it's like, but you said you love them.
I think it's where like being a musician or like a content creator for the genre, it's where there's that disconnect between the fan or like the music listener and the involvement that like yourself and I have in music. I think sometimes it's really easy to forget that sometimes people just listen to music. That and music is not at the center of their life. They want to go and open up Spotify and shuffle play on a band and hear the same riff they've heard in 18 different flavors, and that's what they like, and that's fine. Like you're allowed to do that. But I think it's funny for us to then, you know, be looking at bands and their growth and them experimenting and being like, no, like follow the band, like we care about that, we want to see like evolution. And some people, they're cool with they found something they like, they want to stick with what they like, and that'll happen. Not everyone is you know, cut from the same cloth, and that's totally fine. People are allowed to just like things, but
I agree 100%.
Just don't be like yapping in the comments, dog. Like if you don't like it, great, fucking hit next, dog. It's fine. There's something else.
There's billions of songs on Spotify in your hand. Just press skip. Don't then go fucking to YouTube or Spotify, listen to the new song, then actively go to their page that they've just posted. Hey, we dropped a new song, and be like, your old shit was better.
Sound sucks. Yeah. Keep it to r/metalcore. Keep it to the fucking subreddit, and we'll go and look at it. And that can be the world that it exists in. But don't come onto the fucking Facebook feed, dog. That's my shit.
Relax. Yeah. Anyway, man, who are you most pumped to be playing with at Good Things, and who are you most pumped to just watch as a punter?
Most pumped to play with is like it's the cop out easy answer, but it's Fall Out Boy.
Gotta be Fall Out Boy, yeah.
Like it's for me, like that is a band that I have seen before. I saw them on the Folie à Deux tour in 20 early at Acer Arena, when it was still Acer Arena. I saw them when they were last here at Kudos on the Mania tour, and I went because I really liked the old stuff and I thought they might play some, and they did. And I think
they did.
Yeah, and they did, thank God. And like now it's a whirlwind to sort of see our name on that poster. Like that's one for me where it's like I can do these shows and I can say you did it. Like you got to play with a childhood like favorite band, like a poster on the wall type band. And then I'm excited to watch. Limp Bizkit's gonna be fucking crazy. Hanabi. I love my crazy music.
Most difficult interview I've ever done.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was great. They were so lovely and they're so awesome. But yeah, just they speak like zero English.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Tight.
And it was a learning curve for me for sure. I'm keen to watch them as well though. They're wild.
I'm so stoked for Starve, who are our good friends who are doing the support shows with them. I cannot fucking wait for them. Like we'll be in Brisbane on the date of the sideshow. We've just got an off day between that and the While She Sleeps show, and we will be there. We'll be front row. Horns up. I can't wait.
All right then. Before I let you go, I'm gonna do some dumb questions, because you know we like the dumb shit on this channel. Well, not totally. We'll ease into it. Bucket list lineup for you. bucket list lineup for you to be a part of. Give me 5 bands that you would
5 bands.
sell your left
Oh.
foot to tour with or be on a
To
bill
tour.
with.
Okay, so am I going as a punter or am I a part of this
No,
lineup?
you're on it. You're on
Okay.
it. I'm not
Okay,
just going to make you
so
watch. I'm not an
we're
animal.
doing, unfortunately, it has to be albums in full because nostalgia tours
Oh,
just hold they hold a spot in my heart. So
that's a bold move.
I am taking, oh, the headliner's got to be a fucking, I'm taking Paramore Brand New Eyes in full as the headliner.
Cool.
One of, if not the best record of, well, it's probably my favorite record. It's the record that I can put on time and time again and go, yep, this one rocks. We are then going on to our main support, which is going to be American Football, playing the self-titled American Football album in full, the one with the house on it. Then we're going to go Touche Amore, doing, which album? Stage 4 in full. They can play other songs as well, but they have to do the in fulls. This is the in fulls of it. Yeah. And then below Touche we'll do Counterparts, doing the difference between Hell and Home in full. And then we're gonna do, and then Bloom will open and we'll play Cold 8 times. That's the set. So Paramore at the top, American Football, Touche, Counterparts, Bloom. It is
pretty mixed bill.
It feels, yeah, it's not insanely mixed. If I wasn't playing it, we'd be throwing in jazz artists, we'd be throwing in a bunch of different, we'd be throwing in pop artists, but I got to keep a show that's going to be marketable. I got to appease the people.
You have to take one of the heavy bands out. You don't have to tell me who, and you're going to replace them with an obscure artist that people might not expect you to be down with.
Okay. The artist that has come to mind is a jazz musician called Yusuf Days. He is a drummer, and it just makes like really fucking chaotic, cool, groovy, all over the place jazz music.
Brilliant. Love that.
Yeah, that's
all right. Good. Nice. All right. We're going to go for some would you rathers now.
Okay.
All right. Would you rather wake up to this song every single day? Which one of these songs for the rest of your life, as your alarm, when you get up, you've got to listen to the whole song in full? Creed with Arms Wide Open or Nickelback Photograph?
I think for the rest of my life. Okay, gut saying Creed. Just because there's like, I feel like there's more, like you can do funny Creed voice, singing along to Creed. Nickelback, I feel like for the first month, I could like get behind it. But I think Creed, like the funny voice will really solidify it for me. And Creed's on a comeback. So right now my heart's saying Creed.
All right. You know what? That's actually, I don't even know if anyone's chosen Photograph. Damn.
There are better Nickelback songs. Like I don't,
you know what, man? I think that's the song that killed their like chance of not being a meme, because that was just the perfect meme song.
Yeah. It's not a bad song.
It's not at all.
It's a fine song, actually. It exists comfortably in the limbo of bad versus good. It's just smack bang in the middle.
Yeah.
And like I don't feel strongly either way about Nickelback. I feel like there's a big Nickelback resurgence that's like, they're actually great. And they're still fine. Dude, they're still as good as I remember them being.
Yeah, there is. You know, the disappointing thing, because I've always dabbled in them a little bit. I come from that rock and roll world, like that's what I brought up on. The disappointing thing is the new album was dog shit.
Yeah, but what do we expect? What do we expect? What band?
The last album had riffs, and I was just like, you know, continue down the riff path, boys.
And like now I've got a bad taste in my mouth because when they did that San Quentin like teaser, and I was like, oh my god, it's hardcore music. Like, fuck off. Like that was lies. That was lying to me.
The biggest troll possible.
I don't want to see
that. They're like, oh, you guys thought Photograph was bad.
Yeah.
Wait till we see what we do.
Yeah, they've just got like, Creed's never done me bad, so Creed, you in.
Fair enough. All right, so you have to be in either the Star Wars universe or the Marvel universe. What one would you choose, and what character would you be?
I'm gonna go Marvel, and like not in like a I have strong feelings towards it. I just never was a Star Wars kid. And I in hindsight, I wish I was, but I will go Marvel, and I will be in friggin' put me in the Avengers and let me go in the blip. Give me 5 years of dust. Put me at like a random civilian that just gets like his whole life kind of fucked around a little bit. And I did enjoy the new season of Loki. So I guess I'm going in the Marvel universe, and I am default citizen. I'm an NPC in the Marvel universe. I'm just watching the shit unfold.
That's a very selfless and uncontrolling answer, because I feel like, frontmen, they can be, sort of guilty of,
egos.
yeah, I want to be Han Solo or Luke Skywalker or fucking Captain
Just let
America.
just let me see what happens. It'd be sick if there were cunts coming in and like saving the day.
Dude,
That'd be great. I'll just watch. The news would be so thrilling.
I would love to be the comic relief pizza guy who shows up in one Marvel movie delivering a pizza to Ant-Man or something.
Yep.
There's a few funny little lines backwards and forwards, and then he's never seen of. But then he cameos in another movie where he's
consistent work.
He's a Chinese food deliverer. And he's again like, don't I know you? It's like, I don't think so.
Yeah, like you want to be Stan Lee in the movies where you're just playing different roles. I think Spider-Man's friend, I don't know his name, don't know the actor's name, but Spider-Man's roommate friend, he would be a good comedic relief character. He never causes any issue. No hubbub coming from him.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Would you rather be in, if we stay on movies, would you rather star in a comedy movie or a horror movie?
Comedy. I love funny. I love laughing, and I feel like I could eat in a comedy movie. I feel like I'd be good, but a horror movie, just give me the heebie-jeebies. I don't want to.
You don't want to be the comic relief in a horror movie. I mean, you're gonna die if you're the comic relief.
Yeah, facts. Obviously.
Yeah.
Nah, I want to be on something that people watch and they go, "That was funny." That made me have a good belly laugh. I love sketch comedy. I love like, I guess it started from like loving The Lonely Island when I was growing up. And
dude, that was great.
Like the SNL sketches and all of that sort of thing. The YouTube era of sketch comedy, like that's my jam. So put me in like a comedy troupe. And I'm a really good I'm good service to the main character.
Okay. I see. You're not really giving me many frontman vibes right now, dude.
I get to do the screaming stuff, man. Like I get to do the screaming stuff. I get to do all of the
point at people and yell.
Exactly. It's crazy. It's and that's my kind of job.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's one of mine.
All right, dude. Last one. The divisive one that splits the channel down the middle. You guys have finally made it, bro. Like, you finally made it. The album's a success. You're doing a headlining tour. You got to play all of your songs. Hour and a half set. You got to go on stage. Yeah, I know it sounds painful, right? You have to go on stage putting on either cold wet socks or cold wet underwear. What do you choose and why?
Not cold wet. So it has to be the cold wet undies. Neither of them are an appealing option. But cold wet socks just that fucks the movement around. Cold wet undies, I feel like you break in. Like my body, I'm hot around the genitals after 2 songs. So like we're good. I can
that's the tagline. I'm hot around the genitals.
Yeah, hot around the genitals. Put that on a t-shirt, baby. But like I feel like if I've got cold wet socks, not only is it gonna fuck my shoe, like I'm just gonna be squelching. I'm be squelching on the ground. Gross. Yuck.
This is why I don't get how people can do the shoey on stage and then put their shoe back on.
Fuck no. Not interested. Hard pass. I like my shoes. I don't want to fucking drink beer out of it. I don't want to drink beer out of your shoe.
Are you pro the shoey being a thing, or are you anti it?
I honestly, I like when a giant, like if the 1975 do a shoey, I'm going.
Yeah.
But if it's people like fucking, like I don't want to see a shoey at the Metro Theater. I've seen it. I'm actually good, thanks. Like that's fine. But like give me a shoey in like an arena and it's like not super fucking, it's not deviating from the show all that much. It's kind of like a moment and everyone goes, that was fun. Like,
and give me a shoe out of the crowd.
Yeah.
Like a boot.
Yeah.
Like you just don't know who the fuck's worn it. There could be skin in there. Like,
it's like, and like, I do fucking like I'm not a germs guy. Like I'll do like something that's gross. I don't give a toot. But like the act of shoey and like the expectation of shoey and the community surrounding shoey,
The
all
chant is
that I've
what
gone.
annoys me. It's
This has gone
cringe.
too far.
Yeah.
The shoey used to be like an innocent moment that the artist had with the crowd, and don't come in with the expectation. No.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Down with the shoey
Yeah. Yeah.
and up with the bloom. That's what
Hoorah.
I think. No, anyway, dude, thanks for hanging out, man. It's always a pleasure to see you. It's good to finally get you on the channel as well.
For sure, man.
It's been a long time coming. We've spoken about it before, but
Yeah.
good to finally have you on here. Stoked for you guys. Stoked to see you at Good Things.
Bloom things.
Bloom Things. Yeah, you're taking over. See?
Yeah, absolutely.
Manifesting.
First it was Bloomify, and now we've just gone for the low-hanging fruit of Bloom things.
Dude, we have been known to manifest things. The first time we ever spoke to both North Lane and Boy Division, we said, what band would you like? What would be your bucket list band to tour with? They both said Slipknot, then they were both on Knotfest.
Damn.
You're welcome.
Damn,
boy.
that was you. That was you,
Yeah,
dude.
Yep.
Shit. Who are we supporting next? Come on, put it out there.
Oh, you guys are gonna get on the. Oh, it's a bit of a left of field one, actually. You guys are going to be actually on the next Paramore tour.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right. If that doesn't happen, I'm giving you 15 years. If it hasn't happened in 15 years, yeah. Time's up for you.
That's when you guys have gone full pop and everybody's just turned their backs on you. And
exactly.
They're still saying, play the old stuff.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Long live the original fans. Thanks so much for having me, man. Awesome just to chat.
We'll see you. Good things.
Absolutely. I'll see you there, man.
Peace. See you, bro.
Thanks so much. Catch you, dude.
See ya.